Joining us right now is Jeremy Wladis. He was on the last car of the train when it crashed. He has made his way to New York City. Good morning to you. How are you feeling?
Shaken up, scared, feel terrible for the people who didn't make it and the people who were a lot more injured than, myself.
No, you have no injuries that you know of.
No,
you were lucky.
Jeremy,
the luckiest guy alive.
Where were you on the train?
I was in the last car on the east side of the train, next, not in the window, but there was nobody next to me, and then the train started, shaking, and it just happened so slow yet so fast, and you didn't exactly know what was going on. And my things started flying. I mean, it just went crazy. Phones, laptops started flying in the air, and you heard things buckling, and you didn't. I mean, it just happened so quickly, and and I kind of got wedged in under the seat, and people. When I looked up, there were two women who were catapulted up into the luggage rack. I didn't see them.
Women in the luggage rack.
In the luggage rack. I didn't see them get there, but
there they were.
There they were, and I was stuck, and there was a guy like almost on top of me.
So the train car was on its side?
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't flat on its side. It was like a 30-degree angle, sitting like this, and
At the time of impact, where exactly were you? What seat were you sitting in, and then where were you when the impact happened?
I was in the middle of the last car.
One of the coach cars.
One of the coach cars. I had actually taken a walk. I typically take this train. I have restaurants here in D.C., so I go back and forth weekly. And when I walk the train to get some exercise, like every hour or two, so I'd walked all the way through to the first class and walked all the way back, probably 10 minutes before. And so I was sitting in the middle of that car, and I was lucky to be on the last car. I think it was the victims primarily were from the first car. But I have to say, when you look at what happened when you were on that train and the shaking, and you could hear buckling, seats were all flipped every which way, seats were off, came apart, and everything was thrown.
I'm glad you described as you walked through the train cars, because the way Amtrak on this particular line that works, usually the first car is first class.
It was.
And then the second car is the quiet car, and then there's a cafe car, and then the following cars are all coach.
There were 7 total cars. I was told. I thought there were 8, but I wasn't counting. And you're right. The first is usually first class, and the second is usually quiet car, and then the cafe. The cafe car, after it hit, and I knew I was all right, and I was with this gentleman, Daniel Wetrin, and he was okay, and we were able to walk out. I saw the train was worse up ahead. One of the cars was completely. Yeah. No, the third car was sideways. The fourth or fifth car was sideways. So we tried to walk up and help people out. By then, some people had come and people had taken some type of charge, so they started doing different things, and they told me, "Can you go back to the back and help out there?" So I went back.
Who told you that?
So
people said, "Hey, can you help?"
Yeah. We were all trying to help. Everybody was walking around who was okay. I mean, if you saw and you felt what was going on, I mean, it was surprised people just didn't get jabbed by stuff. I mean, things. The train was just ripped apart every which way.
Jeremy, will you go on a train again?
Yeah, I was. We got back last night. We Ubered home, but we were going to go to the next train station and get back on Amtrak.
Well, that's great, and because you have to, and that's the way you have to live your life, especially in the living that you say you have owning these restaurants. But you say it was traumatic on the inside. In a way, was it more traumatic seeing what happened once you got on the outside?
It was more traumatic this morning. Even in the Uber car, we were reading everything, but this morning when I heard about the 6th death, that was probably the most. I mean, I saw it, and I can't. If you guys saw and felt what happened, I can't believe so many people weren't killed. Shocking.
I was on that train 2 nights ago, and I'm sure the same thing with you. When you get on the train and you're going, in some cases, 100 miles an hour, you think, how safe is this?
I was walking, like I said, about 10 minutes earlier, give or take. It's a little jumbled in my head. And when I was walking, at one point in time, it felt like the train was going so fast, I lost my balance a little bit.
And that was way before the derailment.
That was way before the derailment. I don't know, you know.
Well, you mean too fast.
The announcement about electricity. There's some passengers that have said, you know, we heard an announcement about something about electricity early on. Was there an announcement at your stop?
Well, we got a late start. The train left about 10 minutes late out of maybe 15 minutes late out of D.C. It was delayed. And I don't know if they were trying to make up time. I'm not suggesting there was anything like that. I have no more knowledge than you guys do of any of that. But,
Jeremy, let me just ask you, how would you describe the scene with the first responders? Did you feel as though people were being tended to quickly, or there were moments when it was just the passengers?
It was just chaos. The people everyone was great. The passengers, we were all united trying to help each other out. And then the first responders were great. They were cutting fences. But, you know, people were saying, go this way, then go this way. You know, it was like, go that way, no, come back this way. Don't step on anything metal. It could be live. The wires were dangling. The power wires were dangling. If they hit something metal, you guys could get electrocuted, but walk over the tracks. Then there's a live wire. They the firemen cut the fence down for us to walk through the field to get to this neighborhood. And when they cut it down, it was a metal fence, and then it was laying on a live electrical wire. Don't step on the wire, but we're on this metal thing. I was the first passenger. My friend Daniel and I were the two first passengers to walk out. You know, we were like, what can we do? Can we? And they're like, no, get out of here. And then they stop, go back, I mean, you know, they were trying their best. I mean, nobody knows what to do in these type of situations. They were great. The people were, and then we end up in this really poor neighborhood, and the people were so nice. They came out with bottles of water. We want to use our bathroom. Come into our house. What can we do? And then and then we were like corralled here, corralled there. Then they put a bus. We're going to sit, we were trying to figure out, how do we get out of here? How do we go and get back home?
To life,
Details, but you were alive.
Yeah, and what, they wouldn't. There was nothing we could do to help anybody at this stage of the game.
Who did you call first?
I called my wife and told her I was safe and everything in case she got any phone calls or anything. And she said, okay. And I think she went right back to sleep. I don't think she understood the magnitude. And then when we were in Philadelphia, or in the school where they moved us to eventually, my daughter texted me, why are you in Philadelphia and what do you need an Uber for?
She knows now.
Disaster. All right. We thank you very much.
Jeremy Wladis, thank you.